Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. There's a topic that I was talking about on my TikTok. Please go make sure that you go follow me there. The name of my TikTok is in my description. So I have came to a realization this topic, like, it just, I sat down and I introspected and I was like how do other people think, but I said to myself that people are entitled to their own opinions and to how they want things to, to how they want to perceive things, right? So I hear a lot of women who say that um I don't want to have kids out of wedlock. I will wait my ass off for me to have kids until a man marries me. I will not deal with a man who has kids, because most of the time you find that you deal with men who have kids and they have baby mama drama and all those things. And I was like, you know what? Some people, they have not even experienced dating men who have kids. Some people have not went through that experience, but only they saw it in other people's lives. So I was like, you know what? I just want to tell somebody out there who will resonate with me, because this is my own opinion and my own understanding. I feel like you as a woman or you as a man, you cannot weigh a person's value based on their past. What you are doing wrong is you thinking that your past experiences of men and women are the same as the woman and man that you're going to meet in your future. You are at the age of 35 or in your middle 30s or in your early 30s, and here you are as a woman wanting to have a man who does not have kids, who does not have a history, blase blase blah, right? I feel like I'm not saying that women should lower their standards. I'm not saying that men should lower their standards or you should change your standards, right? But I am speaking from a point of view of my own understanding and from a realistic point of view. I feel like that it is very selfish to think that you're going to meet the people that you have encountered in your previous relationships and you inflict that in your present moment, because not everybody's the same. And I just want to remind you that even if you'd say to yourself that you are waiting for a man who's going to marry you, put a ring on it before you get to have kids with that person or have a kid with by them, just because maybe they have kids outside of your relationship, it does not guarantee fulfillment. It does not guarantee happiness. It does not guarantee peace. Just because you as a man, you want a woman who's well established, you want a woman who has money, who has everything for herself, who, like, it's good to have standards, guys. It's good to have standards. I'm not saying people should settle for less, but I want you to understand that even if you have those standards, those things that they don't guarantee happiness. Just because you are going to get with a man who is well established, who has money and so forth on, it doesn't mean that that man is going to treat you with the most utmost respect and you're going to have peace in that relationship. You might meet a man or a guy who has kids outside of what's this? Okay, you might meet a man who is going to marry you. You might meet a man who's going to marry you, and they don't have kids, right? And here you are getting happy, and along the way of having to be in that marriage or marriage situation, you find that that man is not happy, that man is not, it's not fulfilled, that man has issues. At some point you find that that man has his own personal issues, his own personal history past. You don't know nothing about that man because you're so quick You were so quick to jump into wanting that man to marry you, not knowing if maybe they invested in you to a point that you share the same values. How does that man think? Does that man know how to handle like difficult situations and relationships? How is that man going to react when it comes to you guys not having your financial stability? If you guys run out of money, how is that guy going to, combine thoughts with you, partner up with you so that you can be a team and make it work and move forward? You don't know nothing about that man. The only thing you know is that you found that man well established, you found that woman well established, but you don't know if tables would turn out differently, how would that person be in your life? And here you are rushing to wanting to be married before you have kids with that person. I'm not saying that women should lower their standards or men should like lower their standards, but all I'm saying is that, you know what, have those standards, but also have an open mind. Have an open mind that not everything, like, not all that glitters is gold. Just because you've met a man who's going to marry you, it's not going to guarantee that that man is going to treat you right, that man is going to be faithful to you. That man, for crying out loud, might cheat on you numerous times to a point that you feel like you're worthless. That woman might cheat on you numerous times with different men who are at a higher standard than you, and that woman might make you feel like less of a man because they are making more than you as a man. So please check your standards. Just check your standards before you become too quick on saying that I don't want a man who's going to give me a child because he's going to treat me like the rest of his baby mamas. He's gonna leave me, he's gonna hurt me. Honey, life does not have a ruler. It does not have a formula. Life does not have a formula. Life will what do they call this? Life will hand you cards that you never expected, that you never intended to deal with. Okay? So just be aware of the fact that life is unpredictable. Life is just unpredictable. Just because you saw people going through situations like that, don't inflict them and make them your own experience. You have your own journey and story to tell. So don't come in relationships and be out here having this energy of fear all the time. You're fearing. That's what you're going to even manifest, because you're so fearful of experiencing that situation. And mind you, the universe will give you those lessons so you can learn that life can just give you anything. So before you have so much standards, just think about them in a realistic manner. That I'm not saying you should settle for situations that are unpleasant for you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you should settle for a man who has multiple kids outside and you don't want that for yourself. You can't deal with that. And that man is showing red flags, or that woman is showing you red flags, is mistreating you or whatsoever. But I just want you to keep an open mind, that don't judge people because of what they have in their past. Don't inflict other people's experiences and make them yours. Don't inflict the baby mama's experience with him and make it your experience. No, you create your own reality. You create your own experience. And the only thing that you can do as a woman or as a man is to give it a shot. Give it a shot. How do you do that? You try. And how do you try? You don't try by giving your all and forget and neglect yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The best way to be your best version in any relationship is as if you start pouring onto yourself first. You start ticking all the boxes. Wena, uwedwa, alone. Tick off all the boxes alone. And then see if what you want outside is actually is relating to what you are giving out, to what you are presenting as a woman or as a man. So quit this thing. Just quit this thing of having this mentality wena you want, hey, you want this man who's perfect, you want this woman who's perfect, a woman who's like this, who's like this. Wena, do you meet yourself in that level? I am still repeating this thing. Like, don't think life is just a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale. Life is realistic, and it will give you different experience. You have to just deal with it and roll with it. The only thing you have to do is to look up for yourself. Look out for yourself. How do you look out for yourself? Is for you to not pour from an empty cup and give way more than you are left, way more than you have. You know, you cannot pour and pour and pour to other people, and then when are you left with nothing? So please be mindful. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Life is unpredictable. Just be realistic sometimes, and don't judge your past relationships of people you dealt with who have kids, and people who who had kids, and they mistreated you, and they didn't treat you well, and they cheated on you whatsoever. Or you've seen your auntie being in a relationship, or your cousins or your friends being in relationships and having kids with men, and men bashing them out, or whatsoever the case might be. That is not your experience. Your experience is yours. And please, woman or man, listen to, don't intake everything that you come across here on the internet. You'll be scrolling the internet and taking everything as it is, like you are listening to a professional. That person is sharing their own perspective, and sometimes they say that they are sharing their own experiences. Can't you know they're not even sharing they're just sharing stories. So please, I'm just saying that people should just be mindful of discerning. Have discernment. Make your own reality. Create your own don't confuse yourself. Oh, I will make sure that I get a man who is going to be pop a ring on me. If he doesn't marry me, he's not how dare he thinks that he's gonna make me another baby mama. Hey son, yo Aishem, you cannot be proud of saying that. Even if he marries me and the marriage fails, it doesn't matter. That man will marry you and leave you and go and neglect you while you are still married in that marriage, and show you that honey, you're not doing it right. That man will go for another woman while you are still even married, to show you that the ring does not determine anything. The ring is just symbolic of commitment. And if you don't know what comes with the ring and what comes with just marriage, then honey, the ring is just a symbol. Marriage comes with so many things, and it needs people who think, people who are emotionally matured, people who are people who know who they are, people who are whole, not people who are codependent, people who are insecure, people who consistently need reassurance and all those things. Marriage needs people who know who they are when they enter into that marriage, and understand that it's their own life experience, and that they shouldn't compare it with other people's experiences and say, oh, just because their marriage went like this, mine should go like this. No, honey. So again, I'm just saying that this is my perspective. This is just my own opinion. You're entitled to say whatever. It's still okay. Mina, I'm just sharing my thoughts and views. Uti, life is unpredictable, and you can only make your own reality by how you choose to make your own choices, and not include everything you are hearing from everybody, but have discernment. That's why they say that most of the time you hear this saying of people saying that marriage, if there is somebody who's the third person, it becomes a problem, whether it's family, friends, or whosoever. And be careful who you're sharing certain things with. Be careful who you're listening to for advice. Every time, have your own discernment. Have your time separate to think things through before you listen to things and just take it and say, yeah, she's correct, this resonates with me. Resonate with what? You will get married and be unhappy in that marriage and feel like you're alone, because you made decisions, because you had someone else saying, I have this. For some people, those things, they work for them. Of course, they work for them. So it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. What works for another person might not work for you or another individual. You get what I'm trying to say. You get the drift. So don't say just because somebody else had high value standards and then it worked for them and it's going to work for you. It can work in your favor. But at the end of the day, what is going to determine the success of that, or that is going to determine the stability of that, let me not even say success, stability of that, because success is more like you just want something to be just successful so that people can see it successful. It's just moving forward, but stability, foundation. So now I tatter too much. I speak my mind basically. So just like anybody else who does. But take whatever it is that resonates with you. I'm just saying that make your life your own, make your own experience your own. And also, me speaking like this, I'm not speaking like this because I want somebody else to listen to me saying blah 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 blah, all these other things. I'm saying these things because I'm also teaching myself and putting myself to school, my own school that is resonating with me. Sometimes it's important to block out all the noise from outside and think of what will work for you. Or whatever. So yeah, kudos to you guys in everything that you do, decide or whatsoever. And I think I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel, and if I do, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if I upload this on TikTok, then I uploaded this on TikTok, but please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up like button if you do support me. I'm not forcing anybody after all, but nonetheless, I say what I say and I meant what I meant, and it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it, you're entitled to yours. I'm not forcing any information on anyone and telling people to go my way. Okay, so take care of yourself, guys. Love and light. Bye.